Good morning, everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is Wahdina Taskia Aziz, number absent 16. So, here I would like to present to you how to build a personal branding. So, what is personal branding? Personal branding is an intentional, strategic practice in which you define and express your own value proposition. Personal brand is how people perceive you. It's like your online persona and whether you like it or not. People will judge you based on what they see online. Like if you're applying for jobs, your employers will be Googling you and they will be judging you based on what they find. So the first step to building a personal brand is to start with why. Why do you want a brand? What is your purpose for building a brand? So, for example, if you are a graphic designer, you want to build a personal brand so that other people will know who you are and they will know what your artwork looks like, what your style is, so that they will be able to hire you for your service. So, your goal is to give people see your work, and want to hire you. Depending on your purpose for your brand, you are going to want to have a home or some sort of landing page where other people can come to learn more about who you are, what you do, all of that. So it can be a website or a blog, but it can also be like the social media page, and we'll go over choosing the right platform for your brand later on. But if you are a professional and you want to be taken seriously, then I highly recommend getting a personalized domain name to be your landing page. More importantly, to get a personalized email that matches your domain name that further supports your personal brand. You just see more professional emailing people with that personalized domain and also like handing it out on your business cards. Now, what if you don't have a name for your brand yet and you are still deciding on what name to use? But sometimes there was a name that difficult for people to spell or pronounce it. Choosing a name can be tough, but I don't want you to let yourself get stuck at the point. Some people can decide on a name and so they don't start on building their brand. I think that's the biggest mistake. Just start with anything, create content, practice, and build it. And you can always change your brand name later. I've seen so many people rebrand themselves and it's totally okay. So the first tip is your brand name should embody what your brand stands for in some sort of way. Number two is create a new word that didn't already appear on Google. I want you to create something fresh so that when someone Googles your name, it will be like the first search result, because a lot of people make the mistakes of choosing a quick name, but like a million people already have it. So definitely something that is a little different. I think by now it's really hard to think of something original, but it's totally possible, and just keep trying. Make sure that name is not heavily used by other people already, especially not people who are in the industry that you want to be in. Last thing, you want to have a name that's relatively easy to remember, easy to spell, and can be consistent on all your social platforms. You want to have like the same name everywhere so that's easy for people to find you. Next, let's talk about shaping your brand story, tone, style, feeling that your brand exudes so naturally. If it's a personal brand where you are the face of it, the brand should be an extension of your personality, an extension of who you are. It should even be like your ideal self, which you want to appear to others to be, because everybody's multifaceted. This is a really fun part because you get to shape your own story and decide what story matters to your brand. What does your brand stand for essentially? What are the values? What are the personality traits? Things like that. So number one, it goes back to your brand story. Why are you a brand? What is your purpose as a brand? What is the message that you want to share with others? So your story and your why is the core center, and then outside of it is like the aesthetic and the tone and the feeling and the decorative parts. So the decorative parts, for example, the dreamy vibes, the pastel colors, the music, All of that is like decorative, and it's what makes your brand unique and different. Look at yourself. Are you purpose stand for you? Have values? That's your core. The core of your brand as well, and then everything that you do and the outside, the makeup you put on, the clothes you wear, how you style your hair, how you speak. That is like the embellishment of your brand, but it's super important because it makes you who you are. To make it easy, brand style is your style. It's just an extension of your personality. You should try to infuse as much of your personality into your brand in everything. In the caption that you write, in the photos you take, the way you filter them, the way you angle your shots, and that just comes from you and your expression. And don't overthinking it. Just start with like your favorite color palette, start with your favorite styles from other people that you see, and your brand will grow stronger as you develop it, as you keep creating. Similar to life, you find your voice along the way as you go, and that's totally normal. Next, let's talk about content, because content is king. Content is the way that you communicate your brand to people who are willing to listen. Content is your way of expressing yourself again and again, expressing all the different sides of yourself so that people around you will understand more and more who you are. The first part of this is to pick your platform, your main medium for sharing your content and sharing who you are. So with so many platforms out there, it's hard to do all of them at once. If you're starting a personal brand, you should focus and be an expert at one platform first before diversifying to other. When choosing a platforms to focus on, you want to consider number one, your brand's purpose. Number two, what you're good at creating, what you enjoy creating. Number three, the best way to present your brand to others. And number four is where your audience lives. For example, if you're an interior designer and your work is very visual, then you probably want to stick to visual platforms like Instagram or Pinterest to share your design. If, for example, the interior designer feels like she's better at video and love to be on cameras, and maybe she could do YouTube and mix that. You get to use the platform that works for you depending on what you like, what works for your brand, and where your audience lives. Back to content. So as I was saying earlier, content is your way of communicating who you are and your expertise to all the people who are willing to watch you. So the more content you think you are with me, posting your content for opportunity give to others to see you, see your stuff, to know and understand who you are. So it's all about just creating consistently, but how do you create content that people want to see? First, you gotta make sure that your content delivers value to others. It has to educate them, entertain them, inspire them, give them something in exchange. You know, people are not just going to watch you for you, they're going to watch it because it benefits themselves. Do some research and find what people are searching for and create content related to those areas. The last tip that I want to slip that actually should have mentioned earlier is know your audience. Know who you want to serve, know your ideal audience, your ideal customer, and create content for that person. So have this persona in your mind, like really go in depth of who this person is, their fears, their deepest desires, their hobbies, everything, and really envision that person and create content for that one person. That's all from me. I ask apologies for all the mistakes. Thank you for your attention. And the last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.